So again, thank you for joining us to the Campfire. My name is Rio, and I'll be the host for tonight's Campfire. Today, we live in a challenging, uncertain time while we look around to see the programs and events that are being canceled that we looked for all years. It is important to remember the scouting and our order continues on. The Section W1S communication team has worked hard to provide a special program tonight to help build a virtual balance of brothers across the section during the time when we need it the most. We hope that you enjoyed our tonight's program. We have several section and lodge leaders with us tonight to provide various updates on Order of the Year program to help you answer questions as well. Again, my name is Rio, and I'm the pleasure to serve as your 2019-2020 Section W1S Secretary.
Hi, I'm James Verheyden, and I'm serving as your 2020 Section Chief. I know that this is a very stressful time, and I thank you all for watching tonight. Though we cannot meet in person, by connecting virtually like this, we can continue the momentum of our organization.
Hey everyone, my name is Dirk Smelser, and I have the pleasure of serving as your 2020 Section Vice Chief. I'm glad you all could join us during these difficult and unprecedented times.
Hello, Scouts and Scouters. I am Vince Bishop. I have the honor of being your W1S Section Advisor. Welcome to our Section Virtual Campfire, and thank you to Rio, along with the comms team, for putting this virtual campfire on.
Good evening, Section W1S. My name is Brian Gray, and I serve as an Associate Section Advisor. Thank you all for joining us this evening.
Hello, my name is Daniel Stockton, and I am the La-Mon'tay Lodge Chief. I hope everyone is staying happy and healthy.
Welcome. I'm Dr. James Verheyden, newly elected advisor for La-Mon'tay Lodge. I hope everyone is staying safe during these difficult times and encourage everyone to frequently wash their hands, don't touch their face, and practice social distancing. We will beat this pandemic, and in the process, I hope that the country and Scouts will become stronger.
Hi, my name is Dustin Graves, and in the fall of Chieskin's 75th anniversary, I was elected as its 2020 Lodge Chief.
Hello, everyone. My name is Fred Linton, newly elected advisor for Chieskin Lodge. I'm excited to be part of this virtual campfire with all the Section W1S, and I'm looking forward to the question and answer session later in the event.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Benjamin Flores, the Lodge Chief for Wauna La-Mon'tay Lodge. I hope everyone is staying safe during these times.
Good evening, everyone. Dick Phillips here, Lodge Advisor for Wauna La-Mon'tay. We've got a lot of things going. I think it's a great time for us to relook at our goals and missions and the purpose of the Order of the Arrow, hoping to have some contact for our brotherhood in the future.
Thank you, everyone. And last but certainly not the least, we have a special guest from Western Region joining us tonight.
Thank you for that, Rio. My name is Gavin Cho, and was just mentioned, I have the honor of serving as your 2020 Western Region Chief. I hail from Spilei Lodge in Southern California, and I'm looking forward to discussing some regional and national programmatic changes this evening.
Thank you. Tonight, we have a special program planned including updates from Section, Lodge, and Western Region. We also have a special announcement about Conclave and do a live giveaway. More about the giveaway later. Later tonight, during our Q&A segment, our panel will be answering some of the questions from the audience. You can ask questions throughout the campfire by posting them in the comments of this live video or posting them on social media using hashtag W1SCampfire or tagging us at Section W1S. When you submit a question, you'll be entered into drawing to win a $10 gift card from REI. Please remember to keep your questions Scout appropriate and a question can be anything from scouting related to random questions. If you want a specific person to answer your question, make sure to mention it when you post them. I'd like to start us off with the section's plans and update. So James, take it away.
Throughout this difficult time, we're continuing to work diligently with our 3 lodges, reaching out and making sure that though we cannot hold in-person meetings, we can still connect together online. I'm excited to say we're still planning for Conclave and have some unique opportunities. Conclave this year will take place at Hoodoo Ski Area in the Cascade Mountains on September 11th through 13th, hosted by La-Mon'tay Lodge. Something new we're adding is the exciting chapter leadership seminar, focused on how everyday members can improve and be involved with making their chapters awesome. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Something else we're doing is community engagement. We'll be inviting organizations and community partners from across the state to lead training sessions, engaging activities, providing insight into the service they provide us. We are planning on working with Oregon State Police, U.S. Forest Service, National Ski Patrol, OSU Cascades, and more. This conclave will truly be special, and I hope you're as excited as I am for it.
Thank you, James. We'll talk more about Conclave later, including a big announcement. Now, let's throw it over to Dirk to hear about new section training this year.
The section is proud to host 2 new trainings this year. At the Western Region Gathering, the National OA Committee launched a section-wide training, ACT, Adapt, Collaborate, and Thrive. Serving as your ACT conference chairman, the staff and trainers for the event are the best of the best and ready to train our future leaders. Provided the August Council of Chiefs meeting happens, the ACT conference will take place alongside the COC. This new and innovative program is designed for lodge, chapter, and section officers and advisors to ensure their home lodges thrive. Conclave is an ever-changing event, and this year, the section leadership is working on a new seminar designed to create successful chapters throughout all 3 lodges. The chapter fulfillment seminar will be held at Conclave and shown Conclave-wide. The goal of this seminar is to revitalize the importance of chapters, making a better lodge, and in turn, a better section. Both of these trainings are new territory for us. Further details will come as we get closer to the summer, but stay tuned for training updates.
Thanks, Dirk. The training sounds like a great way the section can help their lodges. As your section secretary and the youth lead for section comms team, I'm excited to provide updates on section communications. The comms team posted 2 webinars to help gain new members. The recording of those webinars available on Facebook and YouTube. We also have been sending a newsletter, the Section Scoop, every month with a variety of content. If you're not receiving your monthly newsletter, you can subscribe using the bit.ly/Section Scoop. And lastly, while we're going through a global pandemic, the comms team is committed to keep everyone informed. We recently launched a new page on our website, sectionw1s.org/COVID-19. There, you'll find the latest event status and event cancellation information for each lodge, section, as well as a region and a national events. You can find the latest calendar at sectionw1s/calendar. I want to thank everyone who joined us during the webinar, and the comms team is still looking for new members. If you're interested in helping us, please send us email at communication@sectionw1s.org or contact us through any social media platforms that we have. Now we'll hear from each lodge chief on what their lodge is up to. Let's start off with Daniel from the La-Mon'tay Lodge.
Hello everyone. With the pandemic going on, we are doing everything in our power to keep everything going. Currently, our priority is conducting virtual unit elections and visitations. Most of our spring events have been canceled, and we are waiting for our council to determine if we can safely hold our June inductions. We are discussing adding and changing fall events to compensate for the lockdown. Updates can be found on our Instagram and website. Stay safe, everyone.
Thanks, Daniel. Now we're headed to Dustin with a Chaiskin Lodge update.
Hello, everyone. Like other lodges, our chapters are working on virtual elections and electing new candidates from units. We are working through the virus restrictions imposed on us, and our scout properties have been closed. Unfortunately, in recent months, our lodge leadership was forced to cancel our lodge service weekend. We are discussing the possibilities of doing local callouts and adding another induction weekend in the fall. I'm glad to see Chaiskin and other neighboring lodges taking precautions to ensure the safety of their membership.
Thanks, Dustin. Now, Ben will finish us off with the Wauna La-Mon'tay update.
Hello, everyone. Wauna La-Mon'tay, just like other lodges, has been doing virtual unit visitations to reach out to as many units as possible during these times. As most of you heard, we have canceled the Meriwether and Lewis induction, these two spring inductions, and we will be rescheduling Baldwin for the fall. Our lodge has been also working through district realignment, putting down our chapters into 8, and during this time, we are also doing virtual meetings at the chapter and lodge level to stay active. I'm also excited to announce that Wauna La-Mon'tay was one of the recipients of the Innovation Award for 2019 because of our amazing Event 1 program.
Thanks, Ben. While each lodge is unique, all three are facing the same challenge right now. It is exciting to see them adapt to the times and continue to provide excellent, exciting programs of their members. Now, I'd like to welcome the 2020 Western Region Chief, Gavin Cho, to give us an update on region and national programs.
Thanks, Rio. As you all likely know by now, the 2020 National Order of the Arrow Conference has been canceled. There is already guidance published on how refunds will be distributed. You can access that information by visiting noac2020.org, clicking the red banner that reads NOAC 2020 Update, and you'll be able to access a list of frequently asked questions as well as the official press release. I understand there are likely many airmen who would still like to attend a National Order of the Arrow event this summer. To meet this need, we are offering a new event called Momentum that will be held at the Summit Bechtel Reserve from August 3rd through 8th, 2020. This event will focus on the many programmatic opportunities that exist at the summit. Momentum will have limited space, and we are asking those who meet the CDC's higher risk group to not attend the event. The event will be contingent only, and the cost is $545 per participant. More information regarding Momentum will be released in the coming weeks. The NLS and DYLC courses scheduled for this year have been postponed. The Irvine NLS and DYLC will be the only course held in 2020 and will take place in October 30th through November 1st. Next year, we will hold the Albuquerque, Portland, Fairbanks, and Area 3 NLS and DYLC programs in March, April, August, and November, respectively. I'm saddened that this pandemic has forced us to reschedule these courses, but I'm excited for the opportunity to support you in new capacities this year. I'd also like to highlight that next summer, there will be an opportunity for us to meet at the Summit Bechtel Reserve as Operation Arrow staff for the National Jamboree. I'm super excited for that opportunity and hope to see you all there.
Thank you, Gavin. Now, before we move on to Q&A session, it is time to make some exciting announcement about the Conclave. We're excited to announce the online registration for 2020 Section W1S Conclave will open at 8 a.m. this Friday, the May 8th. The registration will take place using the National OA Event Registration System, or known as NORS. A link and tutorial to the registration will be available on sectionw1s.org/conclave. To encourage everyone to sign up to attend the conclave, the section has added a few incentives. The number one, the first 50 youth to register for conclave will be entered to win SOG PowerPoint multi-tool. And number two, all youth airmen who register before conclave by July 1st will be entered to win half of the cost of their conclave registration fee. And now, our Vice Chief, Dirk, will give you two more, which he announced at the Wauna La-Mon'tay Lodge event, Rendezvous.
All right, I would thank the Academy, but I'm not from this lodge, so that's above my pay grade. But more importantly, I want to thank each and every airman in this room for attending Conclave this September 11th to the 13th at Hoodoo Ski Resort. All right? Because if we hit 105 registrations before July 16th, you guys get to decide what color my hair gets dyed. And if we hit 500 at the event, Rio sitting right there taking a picture of me, I'm shaving his head on stage. So you guys are the big lodge, all right? So we're counting on you guys, okay? Because I want to shave Rio's head. So September 11th to the 13th, put it on your calendars now. It's at Hoodoo Ski area. Tell your friends, tell anybody who's not here, all right? Thanks.
The Order of the Arrow turns 105 years old on July 16th, and we want to honor the occasion. If we have 105 airmen registered for conclave by July 16th, your section vice chief, myself, will dye his hair at conclave, and the color will be decided by the youth and adult airmen of section W1S through a portal of social media. The next incentive is a tricky one. If we have 500 airmen from section W1S check in at conclave, your section secretary, Rio Takei, will shave his head during conclave. But for these goals to happen, every airman needs to do their part and promote conclave at their local level. For now, I'll send it over to Rio to facilitate our Q&A section.
Thank you, Dirk. Well, make sure to register early so we can reach those goals. Now we're going to move on to Q&A session. A reminder that you can ask questions throughout the campfire by posting them in the chat of this video, or posting them on social media using hashtag W1S Campfire, or tagging us at section W1S. When you post a question, you're automatically entered into a giveaway to win $10 gift card to REI. Now, let's go ahead and go into the Q&A session. We've gathered a question that posted from the social media earlier. So this is where we're gonna start. So this question is going to be for Dirk, and the question is, who can attend the Section ACT conference?
That's a really good question, Rio. So the Section ACT conference is a new territory for us, but we invite everybody, including youth and adult airmen of Section W1S. The conference is morely designed for lodge, chapter, and section officers and advisors, but we welcome anybody who is interested in serving in a leadership position within the OA.
Thank you. Next question is, it says, what are the lodge planning on doing if the COVID-19 restriction keep them from holding the induction this year? So I'm going to give it to Daniel first and answer that question.
So for youth elected between, I believe, February 1st and June 1st, they're given an extension from the time of election to time of induction for this specific scenario. Basically, if we don't have inductions this year, you'll be able to go right on through next year with no problem.
Thank you. Gavin, do you have anything to add?
I do not.
Perfect, thank you. Next question come from on Facebook, actually. It says, what are the new activities or programs that will be offered at Conclave this year? So I'm going to give it to Benjamin, who's our activity CVC, to answer that question.
Yeah, so as you all know, our theme is Roaring 20s, so many of our activities are based around that theme. We have like spinning wheel or a cool photo booth you take with fellow airmen. Also, as James, your section chief, mentioned earlier, how we're having community partners come in that will put on new trainings and new activities during Conclave.
Perfect. Sounds exciting. Next question came from Instagram, and it says, is Conclave still needing staff? I'm going to give it to James to answer that question.
Of course, we still need staff, and there's plenty of areas if you want a staff. Reach out to the different committees based on what you want to do. If you want to lead a training, if you want to help out cooking, if you want to help promote Conclave, or if you just want to help with the lodge service team. There are plenty of ways for you to get involved and help with Conclave, and we welcome your help and support.
Thank you. Next question came through email, and it says, I have been hearing about OA High Adventure. Why should I attend, and what is the OA High Adventure trek? I'm going to give it to Gavin for this one.
Sorry, could you repeat that one just really quick?
Of course. It says, what is the high adventure and why should I attend?
Yeah,
OA
so
High Adventure.
OA High Adventure is a really fantastic opportunity, particularly in the Order of the Arrow, because not only do you get to attend one of the 5 high adventure bases, you get to do so at a discounted price. You get to experience more of the adventure base that you decide to visit. And so basically you're getting more program for your dollar, right? It's fun to go with your unit, but this way you can also provide some service back to the high adventure base that you decide to visit.
Cool. Dirk and I actually went to OATC this year. And Dirk, do you want to talk about our experience?
I'd love to. So Rio and I went to OATC this past summer, and that's the one at Philmont Scout Ranch. It really opened up a lot of doors throughout scouting and just life. So when you're going through an Order of the Arrow high adventure trek, you just learn a lot about yourself. You get really close with your crew, and you really strengthen your connection both to yourself, like I said, and to scouting, and as well as nature and the specific base that you're at.
It was really fun. It was a really fun time and get to know a lot of people. When you go to the OATC, you're going to be in a crew, and then they're just going to mix you up. So you might be in crew from, people from California, people from Florida, New York, wherever it is. So you get to make friends that are pretty much a lifetime. So it was really funny, fun experience at Philmont. Next question says, when is the next induction weekend? So I'm going to give it to Daniel again, and then go in line at the lodge and ask the question. So Daniel, when's your next induction weekend?
Our next currently scheduled induction, I believe, is at Camp McLaughlin from June 5th through the 7th. Although we do not know if this will happen, we are waiting for our council to decide whether the early June events will be canceled or not. In which case, the next induction will be in the early fall.
Perfect. Dustin, what about Chyskin?
So our induction weekend is normally scheduled for late June, and we still plan on having it in late June. But if problems arise, we can reschedule or cancel entirely. You can find the information on our Chyskin website, and we're planning on holding 3 inductions this year.
Excellent. And Benjamin?
So for our next induction weekend, it's Pioneer induction in late June. That's still go for us. So we're just still waiting for updates. We'll tell you as soon as possible if that changes.
Perfect. Thank you. Next question came from Eric, and he said, what are some events that I can look forward to as an airman this year? I'm going to give it to James, and I'm going to give it to Gavin next.
Yes, there's plenty of great events we can look forward to this year. One of the big ones being Conclave this fall. Also, there's tons of other great chapter and lodge events. I know lodges and chapters are hosting online meetings or hosting gaming tournaments. There are tons of ways that you can get involved on your chapter and lodge and all the fun online events they have. Gavin, do you have something to add?
Yeah, so this year is really difficult because we have a lack of ability to convene ourselves physically, but that does not mean that the fellowships and the bonds of brotherhood that we are constantly developing need to cease to exist, right? In fact, this is a time and a moment when those are needed more than ever before. And so finding ways to virtually connect with your lodge members, your chapter members, even the candidates that you perhaps are electing through virtual unit elections, these are people that you all need to maintain your connection with. So finding unique, creative, engaging, and just fun ways to engage with people online is really the name of the game at this point in this pandemic.
Excellent. Thank you. This next question came from Jack, and he said, what's your favorite scouting memory? So I'm going to go ahead and start this one. The favorite scouting memory has to be last summer, where I went to the Philmont, and right after that, I went to the World Scout Jamboree. I've been to a lot of scouting events, but World Scout Jamboree was definitely my favorite out of all. pretty close to the OATC for sure. I get to meet a lot of friends from any country, and there were about 45,000 people there at Summit. So it was really fun to get to know a lot of people and have fun. So I'm gonna give it to James and Dirk.
Yeah, so my favorite experience was actually serving as a trek guide at the 2017 National Scout Jamboree with Operation Arrow. It was really great just being in my group and my chapter, taking crews up the mountain. It was hard. It was a lot of work, but the camaraderie and the sense of belonging with the group, it was just great. And experiencing the Summit all has to offer from the staff experience, and just knowing that you can do so much to improve the experience of all the participants.
I'd have to say I'm tied with my council's NYLT staff and the Philmont trek that Rio and I did. Those are probably the two highest and most valued memories in scouting that I have.
Thank you. Next question came from Sam, and he said, "What inspired you to pursue your current position?" And I'm gonna start this off. It's actually the reason that why I got into OA was because Karen is actually our Wauna La-Mon'tay Lodge chief. I think it was 2 years ago. And then that's when I got inducted, and he came to me and talked about OA and what great organization it is. And I didn't know about OA at all at first, but Karen kind of talked a lot about, what you can do in OA and stuff like that. And that's when I thought, I want to be part of the OA a lot. And that's when I started doing, getting involved in OA a lot. So that's where I actually started. James?
Me again. Tons of fantastic experiences in the OA. Yeah.
Dirk, do you want to answer that question too?
Can you repeat the question?
What inspired you to pursue your current position?
Well, my first event that I ever went to as an airman was the old style NLS back in 2016, and I really saw that the OA was bigger than just my chapter or lodge. So that kind of inspired me and kind of guided me throughout the past couple of years to really see what it all has to offer.
All right. I'm gonna ask Gavin as well. I want to know.
This is first activation event.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, yeah. So for me, actually, I was fortunate enough where my first Order of the Arrow event was actually my section's conclave, and it was in 2015, and so that.
Daniel, do you want to start us off?
Currently, we don't have a solid lodge-wide service project set in stone with everything up in flux. We will update our members as to what's happening, but currently there's no plans for such a thing.
Dustin?
So earlier in the year, we actually had a tree fall on our Camp Baker rifle range at Oregon Trail Council. And at our service weekend, we removed the tree, and now we're in the process of preparing the range for a new range to be built at the rifle range so that scouts may enjoy the rifle range at Camp Baker over the summer.
And Benjamin?
Yeah, so we did have a service project back in February, but at this moment, we're not having any plan. We're still trying to work through this.
Excellent, thank you. The question we kind of answered a few minutes ago, but Mark said, how are you going to induct new airmen if the quarantine continues through September? Gavin, do you want to talk about the new guideline?
Yeah, sorry. The guidelines for what you cut up on my end.
So the guideline of the inducting people. So the question was, how are we going to induct new airmen if the quarantine continues through September?
Yeah, so that's going to be something that's really difficult, right? And there's no easy way for us to for sure be able to say that we are at all going to be able to conduct any inductions in that time frame. If we're not able to meet physically, there's not any feasible way for us to conduct elections. But again, our anticipation is that with the extension of the candidacy period from 12 months to 24 months for those elected between February 1st, 2019 and July 1st, 2020, that'll provide adequate amount of time for any candidates that are missing out on their inductions during this pandemic to go through it once it finally ends.
Thank you. The next question came through Instagram, and it says, how can I get involved in this section? So I'm gonna, actually, I'll give it to James first.
Yeah, so there's plenty of ways that you can get involved in the section. You could serve as a CVC, one of the people who organize a certain area or aspect at Conclave. You could also run for an office, secretary, vice chief, or section chief. You can help out with the comms team, making content for them. There's tons of ways to get involved with the section and many opportunities for you with us.
Excellent, thank you. Next question came from Jack, and he said, if the conclave has to go virtual, will it? James, do you have an answer for that?
So currently we're planning on having an in-person conclave. However, this is an ongoing situation, so we'll continue to monitor it closely.
So next question came from Jack as well, and he said, what's your favorite summer camp you've attended? I'm going to answer the first one. Well, I'm going to answer first, and I'm going to give it to someone else. My favorite summer camp that I've attended was actually my second summer camp, Camp Mayweather. I was ASPL at the time, and then our troop is pretty big. We had about 80 youth and like 30 adults, so it's a huge troop. And I was ASPL first time, and then there was a lot of thing going on, but you know, hanging out with my friends, and then actually going to summer camp as a leader of the unit was really fun. So that was my favorite summer camp in memory. Dirk, do you want to answer that question?
Sure. My favorite summer camp is probably Hinckley Scout Ranch. It's up near Salt Lake City, Utah, and it's where I attended my NYLT back in 2017. It was just a really nice camp. They just installed a really new training lodge, and so we were the first group of or class of NYLT people to train in that, and it was just a really nice camp.
Thank you, Dirk. Reminder, you can post any questions on the comment section of this live stream, and when you post a question, you're automatically entered into a giveaway to win $10 gift card from REI. So post your question, and we'll get them answered. Next question, let's see. We've answered all we had. Oh, perfect. This question came from, I believe, email, and it says, while we can't hold events, what are the lodges doing to keep their member involved in the OA? Daniel, do you want to start this off?
So basically, anything that we can reasonably shift online is being shifted online. And everything that we can't shift online, we're moving it and making sure that still eventually happens. It's still mostly in flux, and we do keep updating our online social media platforms.
Dustin, Chaiskin?
So things that we are on right now, like for instance, this Campfire is done over the internet, and our lodge has been using mainly two forms of communication over the internet, namely the program Zoom and the Google Hangouts app. And our chapters have been meeting on them. I know I just had a meeting with some of my chapter, and we had a great time playing games over the internet. And basically anything that you can do to contact people is what you should be doing over the internet.
Excellent. And Benjamin?
Down here in Wauna, La-Mon'tay, For keeping active, we have been having Zoom meetings for the chapters and for the lodge to stay active.
Thank you. So this question came from David, and he said, how can we challenge more scouts to become involved in the Order of the Arrow, especially on the unit level? Gavin, do you want to answer that question?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. So I think that one of the most underutilized positions in our organization and in the BSA in units is the Order of the Arrow unit representative. And that's a really great way for people to get involved at the unit level. It's a great way for the units to actually have some influence in what goes on in the Order of the Arrow Lodge and vice versa. So really, it's up to the lodge and the chapters to engage with the units as much as they possibly can, because that's how you increase your unit election rate. Is you establish a meaningful and a legitimate connection and bond with the units in your geographical area. And so at the end of the day, that's the best way to accomplish all that stuff. And it just takes a little bit of effort on our end as leaders to just make that extra phone call, send that extra email, attend that additional unit, that unit election or that unit meeting. That'd probably be my best advice that I can give.
We have a time for a couple more questions. And this question came from Sam. He said, despite the COVID effect on this year, what are you going to accomplish in 2020 as an order? I'm going to give it to James first on that one.
Yes, this is a big moment in our order's history. Nothing like this has ever happened in our lifetimes before. So I think it's really important that we go back to our local level, really working to engage ourselves with our chapters, with our troops. That is, I feel the most important level of our organization. Really making sure that we connect with each other. We don't go through this alone. We reach out to our other airmen or other brothers, and we stay connected, we stay engaged, and we get through this together.
Perfect. Thank you. We have time for a couple more questions. Let's see. Suzanne asked a question through email, and she said, where or how does one submit community service hours? And this question is pretty complicated, so I'm going to go ahead and take the answer for this one. There are 2 service hours that you can record in scouting. One is just a community service through a unit, and another one is community service through OA. So you can record both of the hours separately, and then hours that counts towards the unit can be submitted through unit, and then hours through the OA can be submitted to a lodge if they're recording their service hours. So that's the answer for who and then how we're going to submit the service hours. All right. I'm going to go to the live, and whoever posts the next question, I will answer that question. So I'm waiting for someone to submit the question, and I'll go ahead and answer the last question from the chat. Cool. Jack has it. So no, Jack, that's not a good question. Any questions? We have time for 1 or 2 more. Perfect. Okay, Mr. Jeffrey, your favorite color. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. My favorite color is green. We're gonna go down. Let's have James answer that question as well.
Wow, Rio, my favorite color is also green.
Perfect. All right, Dirk, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is probably purple.
Gavin?
I'm gonna go with blue.
Daniel?
Gotta go with that deep blue.
Deep blue. All right. Dustin, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is luminous vivid cyan with the exact hexadecimals 00FFDD.
All right. We'll keep that in mind. Benjamin, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is sky blue.
Sky blue. It looks like blue is pretty favorite color for everyone. All right. So that is it for today's. That is all we have for Q&A session. So we're gonna move on to the giveaway announcements. So we've been waiting for who's the winner is, and everyone who submitted the question to our Q&A has entered into drawing. Entered to win a $10 REI gift card. So let's get the winner of this giveaway. And the winner is Michael B. Congratulations. So if your name, Michael B, sorry, got confused. So please send us email to communication@sectionw1s.org, and then we'll reach out to you to get your $10 gift card for REI. Thank you everyone who submitted the questions. We're out of the time to answer any questions. But if you have a still question, feel free to send us the email at info@sectionw1s.org, and we'll try to get them answered. So at this time, let's turn it over to Section Advisor Vince for some final thoughts.
Remember that part of the obligation. We'll seek to preserve a cheerful spirit even in the midst of irksome tasks and weighty responsibilities. This, along with our Scout Oath and law, provides valuable guidance of how we as members of this great organization can ease the burdens of our brothers even during this time of challenge in our lives, community, nation, and the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Vince. I'll hand it over to our section chief, James, for some closing comments.
So, though we may feel alone during this time, know that you are not. We are in a brotherhood, and though we cannot meet face to face, that doesn't mean we can't connect with one another. Lodges, chapters, and troops from across the nation are finding ways to connect online. From having virtual Zoom meetings, online merit badge classes, lodge Fortnite competitions, and chapter Minecraft servers. There are tons of exciting and creative ways to virtually meet up with your fellow airmen. I encourage each of you to connect with your fellow brothers and find the way you want to connect. Though we cannot meet all in the same spot, the spirit of our order burns in each of us. Kindle that fire, my brothers.
Thank you. As our first section campfire comes to close, we hope that you enjoyed tonight's program as much as we did. A recording of this live stream will be available on our YouTube channel and a section website. We encourage you to follow us on Section W1S on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with everything happening in the section. In these times of irksome task, our brotherhood is more important now than ever before. As we depart tonight, let us remind us of our obligation and admission. Strive to live each day in unselfish service. Above of those, remind to love one another, and we navigate on our uncharted worth of ahead. Thank you, and have a great night.